The 2026 Cadillac CT5 V Series in Typhoon Green over Jet Black. This is the sweet spot between the V Black wing and the twin turbo V6 that's just underneath this, that you would lose 20-ish horsepower. Optioning the all-wheel drive I would recommend doing, because dynamically speaking it's not going to be as good as the Germans, but a top speed at 156 miles per hour? I'm Anthony from Supercar Throttle, and we're going to go over the competition to see if this truly is one of those get it or skip it vehicles, and I'm going to go over 3 reasons why I would entertain it. Animated lighting with LED headlights, daytime runnings with the vertical light bar, that's the signature twist that goes into the sport mesh grille with the glossy black, 4 inches of clearance. When you go to the V Black wing, 4.9 inches of clearance. So this would not be very easy for that everyday drive, and trust me, I have an MC20 Cello, I know what I'm talking about. And I also have a Maserati Ghibli, I definitely know, because when I hit potholes and I got 21-inch wheels, they're staggered wheels, that's not the case here, every single time I hit a pothole, I popped the tire, and the last time I had to replace the front suspension. House underneath the hood though is truly what's special with the V Series, because this is a 3.0 liter twin turbocharged V6, 360 horsepower, now that's with premium gasoline, 405 pound-feet of torque with a 10-speed automatic transmission, reaching 60 at 4.6 seconds, a top speed on the track at 156 miles per hour, achieving 17 mpgs for the city, 26 mpgs for the highway. So now that you got the full specs laid out, let's lay out the deck. BMW M50 that's coming out, truly a gem, but the price is probably going to be well over $70,000 when it gets here. 0 to 60 in the all-wheel drive configuration is around 4.1 seconds according to BMW. When you go to the C43 AMG, another gem, it's going to be around 4.5-ish, 4.4 seconds, 0 to 60. That's why this starts becoming one of those things that you scratch your head. But the price, around $57,000 MSRP, makes this the gem that it is. That's the first reason why I would get this vehicle, because you're not going to be able to get a C43 at that price. Even loading this up with over $7,000 of options that we have, it's still going to be cheaper than that, and more than likely cheaper than the M350. And if you go into Genesis, the G70 twin turbo engine, that goes up to around $70,000 also. For dynamics, Cadillac is not going to be the way, because it's not going to be a perfect 50-50 weight distribution. You're going to have to go into the Germans, and BMW usually ticks the box for that. Here you're getting magnetic ride control, which reads the road 1,000 times per second. So it's either going to be a luxury / sport ride. 245/40 19-inch wheels on all 4 corners. This is the satin graphite finish. Brembo brakes are behind the red brake calipers. That's housing 4 pistons in the front, a single floating caliper in the rear. The con though is you have to pay about $500-600 to get them red. Come on, man, this is the V Series. The lower gets the glossy black, so I appreciate that, and they highlight it around the window trim, and they keep a touch of it on the side view mirror, because the technology package that it gives you, the power folding, heated side view mirror, LED turn signals. That will also give us this light here, as well as the light here with the V Series badging. But because we have these wheels, and we have a tuned suspension, and we're low to the ground, it's going to be a little bit more rough, but it's still going to be a lot more luxurious than almost everyone in its class. Which will bring me to the second reason why I would pick this, considering the fact that it's less money, it's going to drive smoother for the everyday. Like I told you before, I have exotics and supercars. I want something that I could drive daily and I still get the performance. Signature vertical LED taillights, trunk lip spoiler. It's in the same color as the body, so I like that. It keeps it a little bit more settled, distinguishing a huge difference from the V Black wing. You're going to get the glossy black here. The lower is going to have the quad exhaust tips with the glossy black. So do you think that the CT5 V Series is truly the sweet spot? Let us know in the comments. Click the subscribe, click the like if you haven't already, because all these clicks help with the algorithm so we can bring more vehicles to the channel, and stick around for the last reason why I would pick this in the drive part of the review. The hands-free is part of the technology package, which goes into 11.9 cubic feet of storage. You have a little storage pocket here. Underneath the floor gets a little bit of storage. with a front to back reading at 38.5 inches and side to side at 33.5 inches, but maxing away from the wheel well housing at 52 inches. But unfortunately, you will have to go into the back in order to split fold the rear bench at a 60-40 split, giving us an opening of around 21 inches with the top to bottom at about 17.5 inches. And that's going to maximize the cargo capacity to about 74 inches, which is actually not too bad considering this is a performance vehicle. But we need to go inside, start it up so you can hear that exhaust now. 360 horsepower is pulling up to a red light with 405 pound-feet of torque. A con, though, is the V doesn't light up, and I need it to light up because I want it to be engaged so I can get that 4.6 seconds 0 to 60. We're not going to go crazy to 156 miles per hour, but what I'm going to show you is the magnetic ride control going over the terrain that we're going. It's obviously a night review, so you'll see the camera moving, but I will definitely tell you the comfort to the seat, the suspension. You're going to see the drive. Let's rock and roll. She is quick. It feels wide, it feels low to the ground, all the aggressive feel that you want for a sports car, ticked with luxury. Now, we have the magnetic ride control, which reads the road 1,000 times per second. And I know you're probably like, dang it, man, I heard it. No, you don't understand what I mean. And that's why I'm going over this type of terrain. The road here has a lot of imperfections. It has some potholes throughout, and you don't feel anything coming into the cabin. The seat cushion is more soft. I wish it was a little bit more bigger, but you sit more comfortable and composed. Plus you got massage seats. You're not getting that with the competition. Now the manual cushion extensions, it does help for tall people, so my knees are not sitting in the air. The Super Cruise Control is always a con because you only get 3 years free, but you get a 4-year warranty. It should be, you know, at least the 4 years of the warranty of the vehicle. And then you got to pay a subscription fee. But even BMW, Audi, they're all trying to do subscriptions. The exhaust filter's in, put it in tour mode. It's not going to filter in so much. It's more understated, soaking up these imperfections. We have Brembo brakes, so I don't think we're going to have any issues. We're going to actually just go straight through this light. I was going to pass everybody, but we don't want to do any crazy maneuvers at the moment. Put it into V and show you what this thing unlocks. I'm already going too fast for my own liking. I literally just took it off of the V because it's too dangerous to go that fast with this vehicle. At least in the state of Florida, because they give you a ticket for every damn thing. But it's literally soaking up every single imperfection in the road. The steering has some weight, so I like the feedback that it's coming with. We're going to check the brakes, put it back in V. Well, now we're going to have to really check the brakes. And you can stop on a dime. Turn radius at a stop point. It's going to get about 2 lanes. Let's rock and roll. Now, what I like so much about the way they have integrated everything in this vehicle is it's literally right in hand's length, so it makes it a lot more easier. But what I dislike is you can't actually use a lot of the commands on this. So if I wanted to change the driver mode select, I can't actually push it. I have to push the button here. But whether you drive it in sport, whether you click the V, whether you go in track, it literally gives you that boost of energy, but it stays smooth the whole time, which in some categories I can see people saying they dislike that because they're used to having more of a rigid suspension, but that's what you're getting with this suspension, and you're getting the brakes that grab well. But if you just drive it normal, you're hardly going to hear the exhaust notes. So that's why I would say leave it in sport, leave it in V so you could really enjoy it. Taking me to the final reason why I would get this is because this is something you can drive every single day and it's not going to break your back. But let me know your thoughts in the comments, and if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. Check out this next video right here, and I'd like to thank our friends here at Cadillac of Lakeland.